Hello there. I'm so sorry I'm a little bit late. Welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom, getting angry by the minute. Welcome, GETV News, and welcome 123 Mr. Fred. I am live. I apologize for being late. We have a lot to talk about. I worked up to the very last second, and then I couldn't get my camera straight, but forget about that. I'm here. This week's discussion topics, as always, Harper, welcome, are anything you feel is newsworthy about racism, bigotry, inequality, and corruption in America. And that's everything, pretty much, sorry to say. This show, I'm like laughing because I keep adding more terms to it because it's kind of scary. Theo Noob, Ayo, hello. Michelle, Law, welcome. Glad you're here. I got a lot to talk about today, and I hope you guys jump right in and tell me what you think. So the show is meant to be an opportunity for viewers to speak their mind and to serve as an educational tool for white folks who want to learn about systemic racism in America and our real racial history. And it's also good for numerical majority group members to get exposure to cultural competency and meet people who aren't exactly like them. If you've never met a person who's Muslim, come on my YouTube channel, come on my Facebook page, meet some people, and you'll realize this crazy thing. We're all human. It's this crazy thing. So, Jamie, welcome. So I wanted to start with some quick announcements, and then we will get going. First of all, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to build an audience so that I can spread educational knowledge and also serve as an example of a white person who talks about, issues with the Black community. Harper, over 70 million people are living in alternative universes. That they are. And we're going to talk about that today. It's really, really scary. I don't get it. I have no answers, but I'm not going to quit because I know that we can get to these people and help them understand that it's scary. Life is scary, but living in reality is better than not. Because, how can people be happy when they're living in a fantasy world? So it's kind of crazy. Oh, Mr. Fred, I have to have you go bye-bye now. Dang. Okay. That's naughty. Can't talk like that here. Let me just see. There we go. All right. So let me start with some announcements. I wanted to thank everybody who sends me breaking news all the time. I appreciate it very much. If you do have breaking news for me, has to do with bigotry, racism, inequality, corruption. Anastasia, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Inequality, corruption, bigotry, anti-racism, racism in America. That pretty much includes anything. Please send it my way. And I have, a heads up for everybody tonight. I hate to break the news, but there's a lot of lunacy going on in America right now in the last couple of months because Trump and his little fiasco are out of control. And I'm very happy for people who are here. So I wanted to start by doing a new section that I have. I've had it before, but what I'm trying to do is do a little section of news to be noted. So I'm going to go really fast. If you have something to say about news to be noted, please jump in, and I definitely will read your comments. All right. So to start, there's a lot of news to be noted. A lot of news to be noted. All right. Anastasia, yes, ma'am. Have you seen the 14 white supremacist groups receiving PPP? Oh, $4.2 million. Wow. Yes, another Black man shot in the heart. No, Anastasia, I have not. Please send an article. I was everywhere today on all these different links, and I saw nothing. Get TV. I have a Facebook. I snuck in, let's just say, I kind of snuck in it. So I still have it, and I will definitely post that up at the end of the show because I post on it constantly, probably like 10 times a day with variety of news having to do with anti-racism, mostly anti-bigotry, inequality, and corruption and whatnot. Um, so, and yes, Harper, that'll be part of our discussion too. Yep, terrible. This is crazy. This is just insanity. As like, you need me to tell you that. So, news to be noted: Republicans are already again slashing the number of early voting locations and proposing to eliminate mail drop boxes just like before and add new restrictions to mail-in voting in conjunction with the runoff election in Georgia that will decide basically who wins, the Senate. If the Democrats win both, then Harris will be a tiebreaker. If not, the GOP will hold the Senate and stall everything pretty much. And as they've promised to not put anything through, most of them are following, even though Trump's out, you'd think that maybe people would start being honest a little bit and, living up to their oath, which is to uphold the Constitution, not uphold Trump. But sadly, it's just not happening. So he has kept, apparently, most of his following, his 7 point whatever million people who do not believe in science and do believe in conspiracy theories. So it's really scary. So they're basically taking that and holding it over the heads of, they're holding it over the heads of the Senate, and they fold like a cheap deck of cards. I don't know what else to say. I'm so disappointed. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. Gary, welcome. Welcome. I'm happy you're here. Doing some news to be noted really quickly. Second post I have, 48 states and the Federal Trade Commission have finally, I added in that part, brought the antitrust action against Facebook, according to Wired. And the government wants to break up the world's largest social network and internet company. And according to Wired, the internal emails show why. So there's a Wired article, if you want to read it, telling about the internal emails and why they need to be broken up. I've written a couple of videos on why they need to be broken up. I don't think they're going to break up Facebook per se, but the connecting social networks, I think they could have a good shot at it. Since 48 states and the Federal Trade Commission jumped in, it's probably not something trivial. So there's that. I'm going to take a couple comments. Harper, Purdue didn't even show up for the debate. Purdue is the richest person in the Senate. She was grinning through the debate like she didn't have a care. Nice comment. Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. I don't get it. Anastasia, let's be clear. Joe Manchin is I'm pronouncing it wrong, is Republican light and plans on voting with Republicans anyway. And there's a lot of them like that. Yeah. And there's no way I wanted to make sure people knew these people are not my first choice. I'm an independent personally. I like people who have hearts of gold and who are true and real and honest. And other than that, I have no allegiance to anyone. Hate to say it. People always say, oh, you should tell your people something. And I don't have a people. My people are people with hearts of gold who care about their fellow humans, who truly give a shit about their fellow humans and aren't selfish little shits, just to be honest. So I'm just keeping it real here. So there's a lot of folks I am not into in the least. I don't care if they're Democrats. Joe wasn't my first choice. I'm thrilled Trump didn't win because I think he's basically a psycho. But I love that I can speak so freely here. I'm just being real. This has been the most insane 4 years. Javier, not sure how to feel about the vaccine, especially after the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, and don't trust the government like that. We're going to talk about that today. I am so glad you brought that up. I do not blame you in the least. Not in the least. Very, very excellent point. According to Forbes yesterday, the Trump campaign and its Republican allies have officially lost or withdrawn more than 50 post-election lawsuits. 50. So, this is out of control, as we all know. Like I needed to say that. Another news to be noted. This week, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar revealed that he has prostate cancer diagnosis, and he decided to call out racism in healthcare, which is a huge, huge thing in the United States. medical racism is unbelievable. When you read the studies and you do the stats, it's terrifying. In New York City alone, I read a very comprehensive study, this is months ago, that the truth is that Black women, no matter what their economic status is, die in childbirth. Let me say that one more time. Die in childbirth in the United States 8 times more than the national average. That's unconscionable. And I don't even know what to say, but that's, sorry, it's supposed to be news to be noted, not news to be ranted, but it's kind of turning into that. That's a really, really horrible, horrible thing. Our sisters who are Black, this was a study done on Black women specifically. It's not fair. It's not right. We live in one of the richest countries in the freaking world. That women I'm talking, these aren't women who are having babies at home. These are women who are going to have their child at the hospital, are dying in childbirth. Like this is like the olden days, or I don't even know what to say. So please be aware of that and look into it. And it was not, the study pointed out, it was not based on economics or impoverishment at all. In fact, the woman who spoke on the show that was on this study, she was wealthy. So it's unbelievable. VO Noob, what is the cause? The cause is systemic racism is the cause. And I mean, I'm not a social scientist in that field, but all studies, that's a great question. Thank you. All studies lead to systemic racism in medical treatment. And here's something simple, and it's very complicated, but I'll try to make it really simple because this is complicated stuff, because we have implicit bias. And even if you're trained in implicit bias, you oftentimes fall prey to being indoctrinated by our society. And it happens to Black people too. They become, obviously not as bad, but they can become indoctrinated into the status quo white supremacy ideals. For example, teachers, both Black and white, in school districts all over the United States, have implicit bias towards children who are Black, brown, and indigenous. And obviously, as a teacher, this is very interesting to me, and I studied it way back when in college and in my master's degree, but it's still happening. And what's unbelievable, there's a video I have up. I can't remember the name of it. It's unbelievable. They show white teachers, Black teachers, brown teachers, all watching these children play. And the kids are playing, and they're adorable, little kids, Black kids, white kids, brown kids, everybody. They're just playing at a table. All of them are playing very, very nicely. And they told the teachers, this was blow me away. They told the teachers that they want them to watch, and they were in another room, so that the kids were in another room. It was on camera, so they weren't in the room with the children, to watch to see who misbehaves. And they kind of lied to the teachers, because what they were really doing is they were watching the teachers' eye movement and who they were focusing on. And overwhelmingly, you guessed it, Black, white, brown teachers didn't matter. Were focused on the little boy who was Black. And they did study after study, and it turned out the same way. They don't tell the teachers they're watching their eye movement. They tell the teachers to watch for misbehavior. You guys, this problem is deep. Like you need me to tell you that. This is a seriously deep-seated, this is part of our culture. Okay? And so that's why it's so tough. Mahako, let me just see here. There was a story I saw about a year ago about a doctor code named Black people, Canadians, when he was discriminating against Black patients. It's a very sad world where you have to worry about racism. Let me see. Let me just read that again. Where a doctor named Black Canadians. Explain that again. It says, there was a story I saw a year or so ago where a doctor code named Black people, Canadians, when he was discriminated against Black patients. Tell me more, because I'm not sure 100% what you mean. But I believe it. I skipped a couple of people. Sorry. Anastasia, yes, they deny Serena Williams treatment after she gave birth and she almost died. Yes. Serena Williams is, she's a millionaire, if not a billionaire. She's very, very wealthy. If people who don't know who that is, she is a wonderful, incredible athlete. She and her sister came up in the ranks in tennis, and just basically they're tennis champions. world-class tennis champions, both of them. And she had a baby and she almost died. And yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Anastasia. That's absolutely very, very credible. And she is not poor. She is wealthy. And she got, there's implicit bias. There's been study after study. This may be an incredibly studied social phenomenon. It's unbelievable. It's been studied in the classroom, and people are finally starting to talk and speak out about it. COVID-19 is one of the reasons. It's horrible. Let me see here. Anastasia, even if the two Georgia senators win, Joe Manchin will be an obstructionist. He's stated as much. Let me just keep reading. The doctor used the code name Canadian when he was, whoa. That's just weird. Thank you for clarifying. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you recall a while back, a couple months back, there was a doctor in France that was caught on tape. I mean, just think, if you're caught on tape, this is kind of who you are, because, to get caught on tape, talking about experimenting on Black people in Africa. It's like, what the fuck? Just crazy. What I tell the white folks that I work with online and in person, take what you think we have with systemic racism in America and multiply it times a gazillion, and you might be close. It is so bad. It's unbelievable. And I know I'm preaching to the choir right now, so I will shut up. Her husband is the co-founder of Reddit. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I used to follow. I used to follow the pros a lot, but now I don't. When I was in college, I did. Let me see. Who did I skip? GETV, unfair health is not fair, but this is your America. Well, proverbially me, I'm sure you're talking proverbial me, because I don't own it. If I did, things would be a little different, wouldn't they? But it is white America, that's for sure. And right now, it's really sad. We're sort of glad the COVID is here, because being that it has exposed all the areas of American society, from education, economics to housing. I definitely agree with that. It has exposed a lot. What I am not sure about is who the hell is going to help do something about it. And I get it. A lot more white folks than before are finally noticing. And I'm not giving them credit for being human, mind you. I'm just saying it is happening, albeit extremely slowly. This is not rocket science. Okay? Know your own racial history. White folks, our racial history is packed with horrific events that we, not you personally, but we took part in, okay? And we benefit from, and we allowed to happen because, we're just busy doing our own thing or whatever. And sure, your ancestors might not have been here, but you do benefit from all this. And if you're born into this culture, what the hell? You don't sit and watch. You don't sit and watch while your fellow human is abused in a country that boasts liberty and justice for all. That's disgusting. Okay? You didn't personally do it, but by doing nothing, you're perpetuating it. There's no neutral anymore. Sorry, no neutral. You can't just be nice to anybody. It's not going to dismantle racism. Okay, let me take some comments. I'm on a rant here, as usual. Let me see here. Anastasia, like now, white supremacists call Black people joggers and Black women breeders. Ooh, that's kind of disgusting. I did not know that. I'm here to learn too, so I'm very upfront about what I don't know. Anastasia, her husband being rich and white and Italian didn't help either, because some people think it gets better if you're in an interracial relationship, and I'm one and they hate you more. Yes, in fact, I want to vouch for that. I don't hate you more. I have a mixed family as well, but here's the thing. Hey, Ronald, yay, thanks for being here. Here's the thing. I once heard on a talk show, a Ku Klux Klan person came on and was way too eager to explain all about the rankings. And race traders are first on their list. I did not know that until then. I saw it like 10 years ago, maybe. So we are race traders. Hello, that's ridiculous, but I mean, they're ridiculous. People who think that way are not thinking right. Something's wrong with them. So yeah, we're race traders. whatever. But I absolutely could see that. All right. Yep. Mahaka agreed. I am in one too, and I still get hated for being. Yep. It's you guys. It's insane. This world is like I need to tell you. Okay. Really? Yes, at protests they attack your husband first. Interesting. And that's a very clan-like mentality, because that's who they look down upon, of the mixing of blood. I mean, these people are crazy. I'm sorry. I don't mean in the clinical sense. Maybe they are in the clinical sense. I won't even go there. But they are mentally disturbed. Very. If the best thing that ever happened to you is you were born white, you got some major issues. Okay. Like with self-esteem, self-image, everything. Like, ugh. Okay, I'm gonna keep going on the news. But jump right in. Okay, where was I? Sad for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I hope he gets the best medical treatment possible. But I'm very happy he brought out racism in healthcare. It is up to the people who have followings to bring up these hard topics. And you know what? It's only a hard topic for white folks who want to be racist. It's not a hard topic if you care about your fellow humans. You want to hear about what's going on. You want to hear that huge disparities in equity because you care. And that's what we're here for. We're on this planet for such a short amount of time. Why be a jackass to each other? Why not love our fellow humans and be as good as we can? I'll never get that. I never will. And I mean, I'm kind of acquiesce to the idea that I'm never going to understand this. But anyway, it's not about me. Let's keep going. Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man is a really good series. Thank you, Nails and Glitter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sweet. Get GETV News One. It seems all or most of your government officials are corrupt, and that's the truth as it is in other third world countries. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of us are kind of catching on to the people in our government. We're finding out they're in it for them. They are not there for the people, of the people, by the people. Not even close. And we have a history of that. We have a history of wealthy people in federal government. Okay, we have to understand that. But it doesn't mean we keep it the same. We just say, okay, we're born into it. This nation's got a shitload of growing up to do. And I don't see it happening. Or it's happening too slowly. I don't know what else to say. Okay. Oh, I deal with racism all the time at my job, and nobody really truly cares about what customers say to me. I wish more people would stand against racism. Are you serious? Oh my God, not to be like, I would love to do a video and hear about that, because my friend Tim deals with racism all the time. Just, oh my gosh, all the time in his workplace. And I video him. He tells me all about it. It's an incredible education. He likes to talk, he likes to tell about it and stuff because we're really close friends. But if you ever want to talk about it, it is so important for white America to hear the truth. Oh, I bet you do. And I am so incredibly sorry. I believe it is aiding and abetting. I don't know how else to put it. If a white person is standing there and allows the abuse, and I'm not saying, oh, white savior, none of that crap. Oh, it's called being a goddamn human, okay? If somebody is abusing someone, I don't care what they're abusing them for. If it's racist, they're being a jerk, if they're being sexist, you don't just stand there. You don't just stand there and watch and be like, do. And yeah, it's awkward and I get it. And maybe that's privilege talking, like maybe, people think, oh, well, you can get fired from your job. Maybe I can't. But you know what? It's just at some point, we got to stand up. White folks, stand up for what's right. You know why? Because it's the right thing to do. And I'm blown away when I see people watching when someone's being abused. They might as well be doing it themselves. And yes, that's a high standard, but right now we're not even close to that in this nation. Anyway, now I'm getting mad. I'm very sorry that happens to you. That is awful. Interesting. Chelsea. Oh my gosh, I get it. You guys, I'm so out of it. I don't even know people in pop culture. I'm terrible. But so Chelsea Handler, okay, good. You know what? The more people who get out there and talk about stuff and do all this, the better. Anastasia, it was a brown country, the indigenous people are still on reservations. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to keep on with the news. This is news to be noted. The death of Casey Goodson. Oh my God. Tell me what's going on. I don't know what's going on. A black man, a young man, was killed by the Franklin County Sheriff's deputy in Columbus, Ohio. And it was ruled today, I believe it's today, a homicide, according to this statement from the Franklin County coroner. And this kid was shot basically in the back at his grandmother's house. They thought he had a gun in his hand. And you know what? He had a license to carry, even if he did. He clearly wasn't pointing it at them. And I think it was a sandwich. I think he had a freaking sandwich in his hand. For the love of God, this man was killed because they thought it was a gun. I mean, this is crazy. The police are out of control. You don't need me to tell you that. If you're new to understanding police, that unfortunately, they have a centuries and centuries of history of being the gatekeepers. Yep, Subway sandwich. The gatekeepers of systemic racism. Long ago and today, they make you follow the rules. Well, when the rules were racist as fuck, they made you follow them. So they were the keepers. And they started off as slave patrols in the South. And I don't know that the mentality's changed much, to be honest. And yeah, you might say, oh, that's not fair. There's got to be good police. But you know what? You're not a good police if you watch someone else do something horrific and you don't turn them in. You might as well have done it yourself. And you guys, I am not just talking about this. I have done this myself. I have put myself out there. So I'm not full of shit by saying, oh, easy for me to say in my little chair here. I've done the risking too. It's not easy. It's not easy, but you do it because at the end of the day, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, my God, what kind of human being am I? And that's why I tell white folks, you practice, you learn to debunk all of the cliche racist, there's like 30 of them. There's 30 cliche, I call them classic cliche denials of racism. It doesn't get much more than about 30. You never hear new ones. You just don't. So if you're white and you want to learn how to talk about racism and stand up, because I don't teach black folks or brown folks or indigenous folks about racism. How could I teach somebody like that when I don't live it myself? Why would I be a better teacher? No, I teach white folks. And so that's why this is kind of geared towards white folks, because it's white folks who need to learn, step up to the plate, learn our real racial history. It's painful. You'll live. You'll actually maybe be better off for it, in my mind, because you'll be living the truth and not a freaking lie. And then you get your ass out there and teach other white people. It's not going to happen from top down. The wealthiest elite are very, very much invested, shall I say, invested in making sure that racism stays. So you guys, you learn the 30, you practice so that when it happens in front of you, you know what to say. You don't have to be a jerk about it. You just, matter of fact, excuse me. And you explain. And I have tons of videos on it. So if you want to check them out, please check them out. It's not hard to learn. You need to digest it. We've been lied to too. Okay. White folks have been lied to. Okay. But it doesn't mean we're still not responsible for what's happening around us. Just because you're born into it doesn't mean you sit and do nothing and watch. And the reason I'm laughing is because so many people sit and do nothing and watch. And they say, I'm not racist. I'm nice to everybody. Well, that's really lovely and it's a great start, but that is not going to dismantle systemic racism. It's just not. It's a system that was here long before us, and it's powerful. Okay? Sorry, my muscles. Okay, so I'm just saying, I will take comments. Peace, soccer mom. Hello, Ramses. Thank you for being here and good talking to you today. Yes, I am taking calls. Would you like to call in? I will get the number. Soup. I will happily get the number. I think I'm taking calls, although sometimes it gets messed up because you know me. There it is. And bear with me. If you want to call, go for it. I would love that. Let me see. Just make sure I'm not. Right, the nails and glitter. Oh, I got to go back. Nails and glitter. Oh my gosh, I am bad. Anastasia, if America was a browner country, America would have invaded America already. Oh my God, that I didn't read that right the first time. Can I say quote of the night? Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, you genius. Come on to the show, please, and be a guest. Okay, that was that. Yeah. You know what? If America was even America, all these things have been happening and all these abuses to the people at the border and how horrifically we treat some of our citizens, we'd be at the UN, we'd be, at Amnesty International, but it's us. So, we can just talk about other countries doing things like that. And we're, it's like they said, and this is really cliche at this point, don't build a wall, build a fucking mirror. Okay. Because we need to be looking in it and just seeing who we really are. And I have to say, as much as I do not like Trump, he is who we are collectively at this time. There's no cognitive dissonance. He's who we are. And it's a sad reality for some folks who didn't get it. But I mean, I know some still don't, but he is who America is. Okay. I'd love to build a more perfect nation, but we're not going to do it by being haters to our fellow humans. And I don't get why people think that's possible. Hate can never be the answer. Short term, sure, but not long term. That is my opinion. I did not read that somewhere. From my experience, hate gets you nothing but more hate and cruelty. So anyway, let me keep getting comments that I skipped. Oh my gosh, nails and glitter. I do not mean to skip you. Let me see. Anastasia was okay. Got that. Okay, that's what I was reading. Your conversation. Sorry. Oh, I sent you one of those videos that you're just super busy. Yes, I am so sorry. I cannot even find time to shower. Okay, TMI. Sorry. I'm just like way too busy. And yes, you send me amazing things. And that reminds me that I am starting something and I want to know what you guys think. You can throw tomatoes at me or whatever. I want to start something just once a week. I want to start like a book reading where we pick a book like the one I was reading, Nails and Glitter, the one you suggested that I read. It turned out to be an amazing book, of course, from Nails and Glitter. And I would like to read a chapter. I don't want to, copyright things, so I'll have to read it, I guess. I'll practice. Don't worry, I'll be good. I was a teacher, right? I used to read in front of people. And then a 20-minute discussion, just a real short, half an hour, 40-minute max thing once a week. And I'm going to have people sign up that want to read with me. It's just basically a book club online to do. You don't even have to read. I'll read it. So I know a lot of you read, but it takes a little work sometimes. So if you're not into it, but you want to do this kind of thing, I would love you to join. I'll send flyers out, and it won't probably start till the start of the new year, and then I'll take suggestions for the next book and we'll just keep going. As I would love to have input. And it'll be an open discussion like this, but I'll have call-in. It'll probably be more intimate group, a few people here and there, but I'd love you to help me advertise and get people. Everybody knows a white person that needs to learn cultural competence. And this first book I'm going to use, White Fragility, is going to be a real good one for that. So, and we'll discuss it. And hopefully people who are not white and there can add in their input. And people who are beginners can listen and ask questions if they have. But it's all about listening to people who are living it. And so that's why this is so important. You listen to people who are living it. They know how to solve the problems, not us. Okay? Our opinion is, it's really not necessary. And I say that in the most loving way. We caused this problem. We need to help educate other white folks, but we do not tell Black, brown, and indigenous people how we can save them. No. Whoa, no. Not. That's called being outside your lane, big time. It's not our place, right? I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. I'm not saying that. But you really need to understand that part of white supremacy is the idea that we are entitled to, solve the problems, and that we are the ones that the meeting is about and the focus is on us. Well, white supremacy, sure, but anti-racism and, solving systemic racism, the focus is not on us. And that's a really tough point. It's not about us. Okay. It's about, the only way it's about us is that how we can support, not lead, support. So I just wanted to emphasize that if anyone's kind of new watching. All right. So let me take some comments. And again, I'm trying to build this, live show. I'm trying to get people to come and to look at my videos and to ask me questions and comments and do interviews. If you know anybody who'd be a great interview, or who wants to, who has something to say. A lot of times for the interviews, I end up telling the people first go to court, then come back to me, because I can't destroy their chances with litigation first. So I have the people I never interview. But I mean, obviously, I'm actually on your team. I'm not like in it for me. So, and if you do come and we do a video together and you don't like it, I'll delete it. This is about you, not about me. Some people love educating others. Some people don't. So if you're one of those people who have stories to tell and it would be good for you, then get a hold of me. And I will find a way to get you in. I want to support the voices of Black people. You tried to call, but let me. Okay. Let's see if I can. I'm sorry about that, Mahako. Try again if you would, if you can, if you want to. God, I'm technologically horrific, but let me just take some comments. I have skipped my sweet people. Okay, let me just back it up. Sorry for the delay. GETV, white America doesn't want to stand up against racism because it makes them feel uncomfortable. And yeah, and that's why I do this. I am not the world's foremost expert, but I am a white person. And if nothing else, somebody will see a white person blabbing away, talking about Black issues and issues that impact. I mean, every issue is a Black issue because Black people are everywhere. But I'm talking specifically systemic racism that impacts Black people. And the group, when I say Black people, are African Americans. I hate to even use these terms, but these are the terms that people kind of get. And it's unfortunate because they're all made up. They're all made up for cruelty, basically. I'm not sure if that's going to work with the Skype, but I have it open. Let me take some more comments. Okay. Nails and glitter. I don't know if I read this. The current invasion is from the police, which is, yeah, really bad. Are you guys watching what's happening in LA? It's crazy, out of control. Let me see. Anastasia, Santa's Tostland, in solidarity with him and his family. I hate to break it to people. St. Nicholas was Black and from Turkey, and this modern day Santa was created by Coca-Cola, and he's not fucking real. Gotcha. I'm trying to do Skype and get a caller in, and I have an engineer here, so hopefully. Water. I need water. But let me just see who else can I. Yeah, I hope there are no children watching that Santa's made up, whatever. But yeah, I understand. Yes. Okay, maybe we'll see if maybe. Okay, I'd love you to be able to call in. Where was I? Harper, Anastasia, Doctor, I saw that story. I'm glad it's new. Oh. Okay. If you still want to call in, please do. Thank you. You saved the day. Let me see. Find my place. Yes, please. There we go. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
I am so happy that you have called. Is this who I think it is?
This is Anastasia.
Oh, Anastasia. Cool.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
No problem.
Yay, I'm happy. What's going on?
Nothing. I just, wanted to be one of your first callers.
Well, you are. You made my night. I'm serious. Thank you so
I've been
much.
watching you for the longest time, and you're amazing. And I know a lot of times they say we shouldn't congratulate white people for doing the right thing, but at the end of the day, there's not a lot of you doing it. So we appreciate it.
It is my honor. The least I can do, I say the least I can do to act human. I wish I could do it all day and scream from the rooftops. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. You're also very smart. So
thank you.
Anything
I appreciate it. A lot of the information that I've learned, to be totally honest, like I was in the military for 24 years, right? And I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. And I actually grew up in Germany, right? But a lot of the information that I learned was not from school. It's from the last 4 years that I learned a lot of the stuff that you hear me speaking of.
Because you're really up on everything. And I mean, that's why when you're here, I'm like, yes, because it just helps make the show so much better. I really appreciate, I appreciate you a lot. I really do. This is exciting.
Well, I just wanted to say, as a book, because I know there's probably loads of people that want to talk to you, but as a recommendation for a book, and it changed my life, is a book called A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn.
Howard Zinn, yep. I'm reading it right now.
Good. That's what I'm reading right now as we speak. So I will definitely be a part of your book club.
Awesome.
And
awesome. That book's like this big.
I will definitely invite everybody I know from Black Lives Matter Mississippi, because I'm a board member of Black Lives Matter Mississippi. As a matter of fact, we have a protest tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Mississippi stays on the R.
Oh, yeah.
They live on here.
Mm-hmm. My mom told me never to go there when I was like 6.
No. I'm going to tell you, do not come here.
My mom told me that when I was 6. I'm like, huh? I didn't know what she's talking about.
I'm here because of my husband. He's in the military. He told me that we were coming to Mississippi. We had a significant emotional event with one another.
Well, I can absolutely. It's terrifying.
Yeah. And my assumption of coming here is the toothless, wife beater, sleeps with his cousin type of situation with Deliverance in the background.
I'm sorry, but I know exactly what
I did.
The stereotype. You're talking about the uneducated stereotype of white folks. It's scary.
Exactly. And what's so funny about that is that we're in a college town, but there's a lot of educated racists.
Yep. That's a good point.
But I'll let you go so everybody else can call you in. You're amazing.
I would love you to come.
Later.
Thank you. I'd love you to come on sometime. I would just be thrilled if you ever would want to. So thanks for.
Yes. Just tell me what date. Tell me what date you want me to be there, and I will be there for you, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll steal you away, and I won't. I'll make you come on every week. Thank you so much for calling in. You're a sweetheart.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye. Awesome. Yay. Oh. Hello. Thanks for calling in. Uh-oh.
Thanks for calling in. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh my God, just like that. Okay.
Hey, thanks for calling.
Claire, you reached out to me on Facebook.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
It's been a long time, but I'm finally calling in.
Super.
I just want you to know that I second Anastasia's her take on Mississippi. I live in Mississippi.
Oh, you do too. Wow.
And yeah.
Tell me if you don't mind. Tell me what's your take? I mean, I hate to
Well,
stereotype a whole
here's the
area,
thing.
but
Yeah, I know. I mean, we have some progressive spots. I was lucky enough to go to a private school with progressive people,
uh-huh.
and that was awesome. But still, there are people not wearing masks. There are people, I hear the same kind of Trump talking points.
Mhm.
You know, our governor comes on the line and talks about things, and I can hear Trump talking through him.
It's got to be really, 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 really scary. Because I'm in New York right now, and I didn't know much about
Yeah.
Cuomo, but I know people don't like him sometimes. But my God, did he take charge for us?
He did.
And
He really did.
I have to say, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
So it'd be really tough to be in a more red state, I suppose you could say, where people don't believe in science for the most part. I mean, if the governor's telling you what Trump's telling you, that's
right.
That's got to be tough.
Now, I will say this: we don't have the kind of Karens that you see on social media with all that. We're a little more genteel than that. So I've never been approached or people, throwing meat out of their bags. I've never had any of those things happen. We're a little more genteel with that.
Uh-huh.
But still, at the end of the day, it's still the same. So it is what it is. There's never any kind of thought that we're going to ever go blue or purple. We're going to always be red no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're that kind of state.
What do you think of Georgia,
what
though? What do you think of, I mean, Georgia, I don't know. Mississippi's a toughie.
I'm so proud of Georgia.
Me too.
So proud of Georgia. And all it took was for people to get engaged.
Yep.
And they literally did what even Barack Obama couldn't do.
Yep.
And I'll take it. If people weren't for Biden, fine. But they wanted Trump out bad enough.
Yep.
And he left to say, I got more votes than any incumbent president. Yeah, you did. But Joe Biden got 7 million more than you. We wanted you out that badly.
Mm-hmm. I'm very, very pleased. And a lot of it is the Black folks there. I credit that.
Right.
The more I learn about Black women, especially, and I mean men and women, but women especially
Exactly.
Thank you. I bow down to, I really do.
And I've been phone banking in Georgia for John Ossoff and Reverend Warnock because we need those two. We need those 2 Senate seats.
Oh, that's great. You've been doing that. Phone banking. Can you tell?
It's that important to me.
Oh, that's awesome. I've been trying to post as much as I can and different things of that nature. Can you tell me really quickly, if you don't mind, what's phone banking to people who are new to this listening? Can you explain?
Okay, phone banking is when you go on to you sign in and join up with a group that's doing it. And what I did for Arizona during the general election. I did for Georgia during this one. Uh-huh. And you go through an app called ThroughTalk, and you call on your phone. You access everything else through your laptop or your desktop, and it calls for you. When the people come on, you talk to them. You have a script based on what they answer to the questions. You tell them whatever it is, and it's just a way to engage. It's a little odd, but
is it like awkward, or is it you just get into a conversation, or?
It can be a little awkward because you're kind of telemarketing sort of, and people are kind of
like, why are you calling me?
Into that innately, so they're just like, eh. But I had a lot of people that were really receptive. I had one person who obviously was not a Democrat, so he let me know that really quickly.
Oh, my.
I was like, okay, thank you, sir, and that was that. But most folks were really very nice about it.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for explaining that, because the more people know, stuff like that sounds scary. But when they hear a sweet person like you saying, like, this is what I do because I care so much and this is how it is, they think, well, I could do that,
Yeah. It's a lot. It helps to be a little tech savvy because there's a lot of extra activity going on while you're trying to call. You have a Zoom call going on.
I'm terrible.
But it's worth it, and you feel like you've done your part. And I do. So
that is fantastic, and thank you so much. I mean, from my heart, thank you so much, because a lot of white folks don't understand that, like, by getting humanistic people who care about all their humans, that's good for us, for the white folks. Some of us don't quite get that, but it doesn't make it any less true. Racism's not good for white folks either. We just don't quite get it.
It is not.
It's horrible.
It is not. And I appreciate people like you, who are fighting the good fight and you're having to put up with a lot of people who are going, what? But you're still pressing ahead, and I admire that, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
You are a sweetheart. Oh my gosh, I'm thrilled to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
All
I'll be
right.
back.
Sweet.
All right.
Thank you. Great talking to you.
All right. You too. Bye.
Awesome. Okay, I am just giddy happy right now. I got 2 amazing calls. If you want to call in, the number is, jeez Louise. Another person. Hello. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going great. What's going on?
Not much. Thanks for letting us, call in and everything.
Thrilled to have
like
you.
The other person said, you reached out to me on Facebook. No, that was pretty cool. I actually just found out about it about a week or so ago when you sent a message to YouTube and then you talked about your Facebook. I looked it up and that's how I got connected that way.
Awesome.
So thanks for that.
I get 100 messages a day, and I'm so, you see me with the tech, I'm like, I'm awful. So a blanket apology for everything and anything, but you got to be persistent with me.
Worries.
And I'll get thrilled to have you. So what do you think? Crazy.
Yeah. So I just wanted to touch up on what you mentioned earlier.
Sure.
And that was people's experiences with racism. Like I mentioned earlier in the chat, I deal with it pretty frequently at my job. So I make deliveries and everything. Like I deliver like a DME, basically home medical equipment and so on.
Oh, okay.
And ever since from my first week on, it's been nothing but racism. So one guy, it was me and another black guy. We were working together. We still talk.
Uh-huh.
And the first question out of this gentleman's mouth was he was asking us what country we're from. And then he was asking us like,
that's
if
obnoxious.
we're brothers, because
you're all relatives. I know.
Yep.
You're all relatives.
So then, So then all of a sudden, about a year or so later, fast forward, I have to help my supervisor to deliver a bariatric bed. For people that don't know what that is, it's basically a bed for much, much bigger people, right?
Oh, okay.
So he's all set. All right, cool. I have to go back there about a week or so later because there was an issue with the bed. So I go to talk to the gentleman, and he basically said it wouldn't do one function, but it would do everything else. I couldn't figure it out. I call everybody at the office. I told him I'd be right back. I come back in. I tell him exactly who I talked to, who's going to come down to further assist him. And what the guy says next is literally exactly as I said. He says, all right, good. You better not be lying, because if you are, he goes, there's not that many black people here in Maine, and it won't be hard to find you. I'm going to come get you. And I look at him like he's crazy, like, what?
That's
what
psycho.
Is this guy talking about?
You're like, I'm doing my job, dude. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And literally, like, nothing came of that. Like, it wasn't like anything changed after I told people at the job and everything.
You told your boss and everything? Like, did you tell your boss what happened?
Yeah, and like, literally, like, almost like nothing happened, It wasn't like, hey, you can't say this, or this is a warning letter from the company.
That's
like,
abusive.
Nothing.
That's abusive to you.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yep.
That's horrible.
Yep. So then another one, because I have many. I'm not going to hold you up. I
want to hear.
People want to talk.
I want to hear what you have to say.
Was I went to a lady's house that was disabled. She couldn't walk or anything, and I had to change out her machine because she was having issues. So she left her machine in the bathroom for some unknown reason. So I go to check it out. She goes, "Where are you from?" I tell her my job location. She goes, "No, where are you from?" I'm like, "Excuse me, ma'am, why are you asking this?" She goes, "Oh, well, I've never had someone of your complexion here in my house." And I was like, "Ma'am, we do everything. Like, I don't know what to tell you, like we just do everything." So then I get her off that subject. I tell her to do things maintenance-wise, like self-maintenance that she can do to help her machine stay running. And then what she says next is even more ridiculous than like one of the first guys said. She goes, "Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your help and everything. This is where it gets weird." She goes, "If you're ever in the area and you need to pee, don't worry, you can come here. I won't shoot you."
You cannot make up this shit.
This is crazy. Make this stuff up. I wish I was, but this is literally the experience that I have as a black person.
I'm so sorry. That's like, okay, Psycho says what? That's.
Yeah. So
It's
basically,
crazy.
I just wanted to kind of share some of my stories because I feel like it's important that I do that because some people that are white here, it is your platform. It is for white people. I respect that.
But they need
But
to
I feel like you
hear.
need to hear these stories because,
Yes.
like, I wish I could be making this stuff up, but it's 100% real.
I
It's
know.
ridiculous, and I kind of want people to hear that so that way
I
maybe it'll encourage them if they know someone that's racist to call them out. Hey, that's not right, and so on and so forth. So
I cannot see.
Yeah.
I want to, if you tell away that this is what I'm here for. I actually try to get people to come on, but because the atmosphere with Trump and he's really bringing out, it's always been like this, but he's really bringing out some pretty bad people that are very scary. So a
Yeah.
lot of people don't want to come
Mhm.
on, but this is what I want. I don't want to be blabbing. White folks need to hear from the actual people who live this. They need to hear
Yeah.
nice folks like you saying, this is what I deal with, because that is real. And that's just my opinion of what I think the white folks need. Like, they need to hear it from the people who have to deal with this bullshit. And it's horrible. I am so incredibly sorry. That's obnoxious. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I have a friend.
I don't know either. I just keep trying to tell the stories to people because some people get it. Like I'll go to someone's house, they bring up the race thing to me, and they're not disrespectful. They're just like, "Hey, how are you dealing with the things that are going on? The protests, the people getting shot, and so on and so forth." I'm like, I tell them my story, just like I told you. Like, I can't believe they said that. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to teach people and educate people, but I feel like some people, they just very deflective. They don't want to actually learn. They want to argue with you.
They want to be right.
And it's like, I can't argue about what I go through in my life. This is what I go through.
It's the facts.
Argument. I'm just stating you facts,
Yeah, and when somebody denies you, that's like, no, you don't get to deny my reality. No, just because it doesn't happen to you. That really, really irks me. I have a friend who someone told him to lighten up.
Yeah, I've experienced something like that too. People like, oh, I was told by someone at my job, oh, they're just bullies. Well, don't let it get you. It's like, what are you talking about? This is something I deal with whether I want to or not. People bring this stuff up to me. I keep it professional. I keep it about the job. They always ask me some crazy stuff about my race or just say something super racist. Like I went to this guy's house. I had to deliver some equipment like we normally do. And his wife, I don't know why she mentioned this, but it was the summertime. You already know I'm black. And she literally said, "Have a good day." She goes, "Oh, stay out of the sun. You really don't need any." So she starts laughing and takes her nasty ass hand and wipes it on my face. Yeah.
Wow.
So again, this is just another one of the examples of whether it's blatant or just full on the plate racism, whatever you want to call it. This is the kind of stuff that you go through. So, unfortunately,
you know what it is. Like I tell white folks, it is a gift because to hear what really happens, this sick shit, and it's like it's like a terrorist. You never know when it's going to happen, and that makes it like. I mean, some people live on the edge. I don't know you personally, but I tell white folks, people who are black, brown, indigenous, they're not obligated to deal with this bullshit all day long. In society, on TV, in movies, in person, and then come educate the oppressor. So it is not, so it is a gift. When you are speaking to me, I consider your knowledge and your wisdom a gift. So I can't thank you enough.
No problem. I appreciate you for letting us come on and, telling you about different things going on in different states and so on. I do appreciate that.
Well, I'd come on every time. This is what I want the, platform really to be, is to hear your stories, not me blabbing away. Because
hey, anytime.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Hey, have a good day.
All right, you too. Thanks for calling. Bye. Oh, I am just thrilled to have people calling in, because there might not be a ton of people on here right now. Like, I have a good number, but when I post this, people watch it. And it's really cool because a lot of folks are silent observers, and that is perfectly fine. If you're a white person and you're just silently observing, that's That's what you do. That's how you learn. And then when you get brave enough, maybe make a little comment here and there. And you know what? If you're a white person and you want to learn about cultural competency and anti-racism and all that, you're going to make a mistake. You have to understand. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to feel like a freaking moron, and you're going to feel like an idiot. And you just got to deal with it and say, whoever you are, self, it's not about, let yourself go through it and just say, it's not about me. Okay. It's not about me. Oh, Harper, thank you so much for being here. Harper, I know you work so hard. You are amazing. Thank you. I know she says she's going to go to sleep. It is getting late. Thank you for all your support, Harper. I cannot thank you enough. Let me just go back. Anyone who wants to call in, I would love it. This has been like made my night having calls. Let me see. Okay. Oh, wow. I skipped so many people. I apologize. Well, let me see. I'm backing it up. Wow. Lots of comments. Okay. I think I caught up to where we are. Anastasia, I saw your story. This is from Harper. I'm so glad the neighbor stepped in. Anastasia, they had been lied to and they're mad because they bought into it and they aren't being rewarded for their whiteness. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about because I'm out of it and maybe you're having a little conversation, but we white folks often get very defensive. We don't even like the word white because, see, we don't consider ourselves white. We're just the norm, the normal. Everyone else is the other. And so when you say white person, people flip shit. It's crazy. You can clear a room saying white people, clear a room saying black people too, if there are white people in the room. I've done both, not on purpose, but just if I'm talking about, I get shushed and I get dirty looks and it's like, it's not a dirty word unless you think it is. Long story. I'm not going to tell that story. GETV, careful. They're crazy types. People are coming after their people who are traitors. Yeah. You know what? It's, people are really losing it. No words. I don't know why, but thank you. Nails and glitter. America functions on racism. It's why white America is so depressed with social media. Self-worth is worthless. Yeah, and a lot. They say the more time you spend on social media, the more depressed people get. That's like there's been study after study, and in children, especially, it is extremely detrimental to young developing minds and their self-esteem, because let's just say when I was on, okay, I guess I do have a mean streak in me, I suppose. I used to put, there's one post was my favorite. My hope for you is that your life is as great as you make it sound on Facebook. Because people are so full of crap on Facebook. It's totally insane. And I mean, I get it, but seriously, if you read Facebook and you compared your life to that, it's like, wow. Everyone has the most incredible lives. And then when you find out the truth, you're like, oh my God. Long story. I won't get into that either. But yes, I have a neighbor that kind of didn't quite work with. But okay, let me keep going here. Thank you for the warning, GETV and Anastasia. The fact is, he's the personification of this country, loud, fat, happy, ignorant, and racist. Yep, I think you're talking about him. He is. He has closed the cognitive dissonance for me. We are living the way our people think, and that's the white folks, which were numerical majorities and clearly in power, and it's disgusting because it doesn't have to be like this. Yet we can't drop our freaking egos. I don't get it. I won't even pretend to. I'm going to keep commenting here. The people. Okay, GETV. The people in America are mostly brainwashed. It's been planned over since, especially after the second one. Yeah, we're indoctrinated from birth. And it's heavy. It's real. I mean, every last one of us. I could go on and on. I have a couple of videos that explain the indoctrination process. It's part of our culture. And I know it's part of a lot of cultures. And a lot of folks believe that, oh, there'll always be racism. That's just the way it is. Well, you know what? I call bullshit on that. That is just another excuse to do nothing. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. There doesn't always have to be racism. Now, it's a choice. It's learned and it can be unlearned. Okay. Let me see here. Please shower. Oh, I know, really. Oh my God, I'm way behind. I remember when I said that. Okay. Let me see. Anastasia. Oh my God, we are going to do that. Black Lives Matter. Sweet. Okay. Let me keep going. Howard Zinn. That's so funny. I'm reading it. I mean, the book is huge. It is really big, but it's good. It'll kind of jade you a bit if you're not already jaded like me. Okay. Niels Glitter, White Fragility is Racism 101. And that's the first book that I wanted to do just because I'm starting it. And then afterwards, everyone can pick. We'll decide together. Yusuf, I think Black people use their status. What does that mean? I'm not sure what you're saying. I want to know more. You'll have to tell me more. I know I've caught up to the comments, but tell me more. What do you mean by that? I would not even begin to guess. Vionu, do you think having race on job applications is necessary? Nope. I don't. I think it's obnoxious. Good question. That's just my opinion. Okay. And Harper says, no way. Nope, that shouldn't be on the job application. Okay, let me keep going. I don't think race should be on the job application. Yeah. People judge you on your race. It's ridiculous. It's, the studies, the two similar resumes. One has a Black sounding name. One has a all-American white sounding name. The person who has a white sounding name gets the job more often, and not just a little more often. It's obnoxious. The implicit bias and the overt racism is out of control in this country. And I'm speaking for America only. I know it's everywhere, but we got our special racism that we just cannot seem to let go. So let me see here. Yeah, people definitely judge you. Did you see the video interview with Lori Loughlin's daughter regarding white privilege? Yes. I did. Obnoxious. Michael, oh my gosh. I hope you're still here. I'm like way behind comments. I am thrilled. You should call in. Oh my gosh. That would be amazing. Thanks for being here. If you're still here, let me keep going here. Let me see. Truly Claire from Facebook. Thank you for being here. If you're still here, because I'm just blabbing away. Sweet. I'm just getting to the comments. Vets are disillusioned. Nails and glitter. Tell us more. What do you mean? Anastasia, Tate Reeves is trash. So is, oh my gosh, Lynn Finch. You know what? I don't even know who all those people are. So you have to teach me. I am so bad with this kind of thing. But jump right in. If you're still here, teach me. Nails and glitter, sorry to clarify, Black female vets, in my experience, are not. Oh, okay. Explain later, because I'm not sure, down below if you can. I'm not sure. They like a bless yourself heart with their racism. Okay. I'm reading. Dennis, 49 states could vote blue, and here in Mississippi will still vote red. Yeah. That's got to be really tough. Really tough. Yeah. I think it's more that we're in a bubble, Anastasia says. Yeah. That's a toughie. Dennis, a bar in downtown Hattiesburg had a quote on the wall that said, oh my God, that is hilarious. When I die, I think you mean when I die, let it be in Mississippi. Everything happens 10 years later here. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Only because I bet it's true. That's so funny. Very interesting. Okay, it was when I die. Yeah, no, I caught that. Excellent. Big Red. If you're still here, it's a miracle. Thank you for being here. Let me see. Anastasia Doctor. The phone bank for Planned Parenthood. Excellent. Mississippi's always behind. I guess we have a lot of people who know about Mississippi. Sweet. Big question. Is Planned Parenthood racist? That's a whole nother show, my friend. I know exactly what you're asking. You tell me. Boy, oh boy. That's a loaded question. I mean, really loaded question. Because our nation is based on white supremacy, and that is a system in our nation. I will give you a generic blanket answer. Yeah, of course it is, because it is if it's in our culture, but I know what you're asking. And yes, oh yes, I'd have to really, really do a ton of research because there's so much conflicting research about that. But yeah, that. A rising tide lifts all boats, especially if you're doing it all for the right reasons. Another quote of the night. Anastasia, awesome. Mondo, hello. Thank you. Ramses, it's the older Black people that 45 and above, but not the young people. Are you talking maybe about in Georgia supporting humanism and more, I guess, liberal, do I dare say that word, ways? VNU, it seems like a methodology for Black population control. That's definitely been, you're not the first person to talk about that. That's for sure. Life Journal, hey there. He's making great points, similar to the ones I have experienced. And also, I found out that the great hurdles to overcome racism is the persistent implicit bias. Yes. I found that one of the greatest hurdles to overcoming racism is the persistent implicitly biased denial. Yes. Life Journal. Yes. It is the defensiveness and the implicit bias. You guys, implicit bias, okay, in and of itself is not your fault. It's part of evolution. It's part of being human. There's too much happening. So what we do as humans is we try to stay safe. We group things, not on purpose even. In your mind, you group things and you see patterns and you establish things that your mind sees as patterns. What is our fault? And I mean, if we're going to talk about blame, let's be real about it. What is our fault is us not doing introspection and thinking, I think that, is it really true? Or am I being influenced by media, TV, stereotypes, not knowing, 3 out of 4 white folks in America, adults, do not have a single close friend. I'm talking about white adults who is not white. So how the hell would they know what's going on? Maybe some media bias on TV, maybe Fox News. This is what I'm talking about. You don't know a single solitary close friend that isn't white like you, then you don't know shit. I'm sorry, you don't. Okay? I mean, sure, if you're really up on it, you can read, you can go that way, but there is nothing like having a close friend who is so close to you that they tell you what they go through. And it is life-changing. So, great point, Life Journal. Thank you so much. And the persistent implicit bias, the subconscious, I don't even know where to start. That's one science that is in its infancy. But we got a lot of denial going on in America. And if you're a white person and you're listening to me going, oh my God, shut that lady up, and you're getting pissed and mad. Okay, I get it. What you need to do is just remind yourself, it's not about you. It's not about us. Pissed and mad, why? I don't know you. I don't know you. You don't know me. I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about a system. I'm not talking about you. So if you're finding yourself taking this really personally, she's talking about me. No, I'm not. I don't know you. talking about a system that we live in that's bigger than all of us. So that's really important to understand. So drop your ego. It's not about you. Unless are you a system? No, you're a person. Okay? It's a system that we live and participate in. It's not about us. And that's one of the hardest things. It's a really steep learning curve. So if you commit yourself to, learning anti-racism, it's not like an overnight thing. It takes years and years and years, and we never get there. But just keep trying. That's all. That's all you can really do is just keep trying. And then you've done all you can do. Keep learning, like anything else. All right, speech over. Sorry. Thank you, Life Journal. You got me going. Let me see. Probably nothing more part. Okay. T. Rogers. That is why I hate revealing my real name. I'm guessing, I love because I'm so behind. I'm guessing you're thinking about, when I was saying people come on and you're not, people are so, proud and emboldened to be overtly racist. It's like some scary stuff. Let me take some more comments. I used to be ashamed of my name because I know it gets me. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Got it. Sorry. I'm completely off base. Because I know it makes me get judged on applications and the like. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the implicit bias stuff is so crazy because we all have it. It's probably very evolutionary in nature, but it's not that you have it. It's not that you have a bad thought or a thought that is racist or a thought that is bigoted or a thought that is discriminatory or mean. It's that you identify you have those thoughts and you're not afraid to face yourself and say, you know what? I can improve. It's just the defensiveness is just out of control. That's the problem, is just saying, what are you talking about? I don't think that, no, just the defensiveness. Need I say more? Stop the defensiveness. I mean, it's easier for some than others. But I used to just, a long time ago, when I would feel defensive inside, I'd say, hello, I'd say this to myself. Okay, sorry, this is embarrassing. Hello, it's not about you. I had a friend who doesn't really talk to me anymore for a whole nother story, who kind of shocked me into, it's been a process, shocked me into, this is what he said. He's a black guy. And he left America because he couldn't stand the racism. He lives somewhere else. He's a good guy. And when Trump got in, we started talking and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I was flipping shit, basically. And I guess I was really flipping out big time because he said something to me that made me, He goes, hello, we've been dealing with this for centuries. Get over yourself. That's what he said to me. And I was like, oh. And of course it hurt my feelings. But I learned from it. He was right. So it's a humbling experience, but you can do it. I lived. The reason we don't speak isn't because of that. Nothing because of that. Whole nother story. Let me see here. Oh, Claire from Facebook is still here. Cool. T. Rogers. I used to be ashamed. Oops, I already read that. Sorry. Truly, acknowledging race isn't the problem. It's how you acknowledge it. Right. Like, are you saying like if you're being a jerk about it? Like the person who called in, people were just being jerks about it. I mean, I think I know what you mean. I wish I could talk to you further on that because I want to know, tell us more. But yeah, I think I know what you mean. Anastasia, Tate Reeves is the Mississippi governor. Lynn Finch is the attorney general. That's why I hadn't heard of them, because it's the state politics. I'm barely into the state politics I live in. I'm terrible with that kind of thing. Tully, Margaret Sanger was no angry. So, yeah, I know. She's a eugenicist. Yes. Mm-hmm. And And that's something that's like, I have a whole video on that. Absolutely. Good point. I was trying not to get into that. Oh, someone's calling. Hello there.
And that's the thing. That's like, I have a whole video on that. Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Hello. Can you hear me? Got to turn off
I
your...
can hear you.
Good. How are you? Thanks for calling.
Claire, Julie Domino.
Hi. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. This is great.
Yeah, what I meant was people want to, people who say, I don't see color. That's not the right thing to say.
Right.
See color, but don't be ugly about it. You know, it's okay to say someone's black, someone's white. It's how you approach it. It's how you deal with them. Do you clutch your purse when you see a black person, or do you just say, hey, what's up? That's the whole thing. But the acting race on applications is important for metrics tracking. So what happens is people use it for nefarious purposes, and they use it to discriminate.
Yep.
That isn't what it's for. It's to see who's getting jobs, who's getting opportunities, who's voting, who's living this place, who's doing this thing.
Right.
That's what it's for. It's been hijacked and co-opted, and it wasn't meant to be that. I don't think.
Excellent points. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
yeah. And yes, Margaret Sanger was a total.
Yeah, she was a eugenicist, and it's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Yes. But progressives took that and just kind of moved it over and made it so that people could get health care. People get health care and birth control and reproductive rights through that.
Absolutely.
That's
and
a cool thing.
Some of the most people who are pushed into economic difficulties and stuff like that, who can't have insurance or don't get to go on a sliding scale. And it's yeah, I mean, they've really changed that around, but its origins are horrible. Fantastic points. That's like a whole talk in it. Oh, I'm so happy you called. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, I know Margaret Sanger is rolling over in her grave in hell. So there's that.
Absolutely. You're awesome. Thank you.
All right.
That was too perfect.
I want to say that.
Thank you. I was like, I wish she could. And then all of a sudden, ring, ring. Thank you. That was perfect.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Wow, my wish. It's like I wished for her and she came. That is so wonderful to have people calling in. Yeah. So that's like a whole, oh boy, that's a whole thing well, it's a long story, but yeah, that's a big can of worms. Sure is. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for calling in. Let me see here. Progressives made it turn around and work. Okay, you're talking about the voting groups. Gotcha. I got to catch up here. I'm behind the times. Everyone has such great comments, and I'm like blabbing away. Jane Elliott said, we are not taught in school. We are indoctrinated. Yes. But if America was really serious, we could get rid of it in 20 to 30 years by just teaching true history from K through 12. As a teacher, oh man, I think I've told you guys this a million times. I followed Jane Elliott. She's the first person I saw in my entire life as like, God, I was pretty young, who was like, oh my God, I thought I was crazy because I didn't know any white people who were like saying, what's going on here? Everyone was pretending it didn't exist. And as a little kid, I saw racism. I didn't know what I was seeing because I too, like many white folks, was raised in the era of colorblindness, which is not a great thing. I mean, I suppose if you have to compare it to overt racism, it probably is better. But what it is I don't see color. I treat everybody the same. It's like, but it's disingenuous. You do see color. Don't be a moron. It's like, don't be an idiot. Yeah, I tease like that, but I'm not really into name calling. But yeah, I mean, it's a lie. You do see color. What it was meant to do, I believe, is to say, treat others the way you'd like to be treated, treat others based on their character. But I don't see color. What the F? It's like, unless you're colorblind, you do see color. So that's a lie. And it's really not a good thing. So, I mean, people are evolving, but it's just so slow. It shouldn't be this slow. This is not a difficult stuff. It really isn't. It's not like, NASA and rocket science. It's not. People who don't want to learn this, it's a choice. It's willful ignorance. This is not hard stuff. If I could learn it, anyone could. And I'm learning every day. I learn every time I come on here. And I literally, not exaggerating, I learn one or two things every single day that I'm like, damn. So let me keep going. Jane Elliott's wonderful. Thank you. Great comments. T. Rogers. Yeah, like those white people who think that all black people are poor and go to bad schools and such. Yeah, it's a joke. I saw a commercial on College Humor. Not a commercial, but it was like a little thing on college Humor. And it basically was a group of people at an office. They were all engineers, or, they were all high up professionals, all of them. And it was a joke. It was, a parody on how obnoxious sometimes white people can be with assuming all black people are poor. It's like, give me a break. That's absolutely not true. Sure, it's true that systemic racism has drastically held back black folks, brown folks, African Americans from accumulating generational wealth. That was purposefully done. That's a whole other story. But in 50 years, oh my God, the gains have been incredible, despite white America doing everything humanly possible to stop them. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. We have done, my God, mass incarceration, over policing, setting up people with drugs, redlining over decades and decades, and sundown towns. And it's just, look at the voter suppression, 2020, voter suppression on steroids, out of fucking control. So I'm just being real. And if you don't know some of the words I'm using, redo it and look them up. You'll be appalled. Because some white folks who might be listening might be new to this, and that's perfectly fine. I have a 101 series. So my other videos are kind of in your face. Those are not good starts for new learners. They'll run away. You'll be like, this lady's really mean. But start with the 101 series. Just learn the basics, and then if you're here listening, you'll catch on. The more you learn, you'll want to learn more. Because I think people really do, honest people like the truth. And the truth can be ugly, but it's still the truth. So anyway, look at me, I'm blabbing away. Yeah, great. T. Rogers, absolutely. Great examples. Nails and Glitter. They'll never teach the truth. There's too much money in uneducated white people. Yeah. Look at Trump followers. I'm sorry. I don't know that everyone will agree with me, but I will make my statement very crystal clear. I feel that if you are a Trump supporter, that you are absolutely a racist. I do not apologize for that. It is the truth. Why do I say this? Well, you might not be an overt racist, but it wasn't a deal breaker for you. It was okay enough to, no. You cannot simultaneously support a racist person like that and not be a racist person. So hate on me, do what you want. The truth can be ugly. But you know what? The cool thing about being really super overt racist is any second, any minute of the day, you can decide to change and learn. Because I will not believe for 1 second that that's a happy place to be. You're not. White folks aren't supreme. White supremacy is a lie. You're living a freaking lie. It's a bunch of, I don't know, I guess people like living a lie, but it can't be a pleasant place to be because you're full of shit. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just saying. Yeah, they'll never teach the truth because there's money in it. There's a lot of money in keeping white folks and everybody else so they won't unite and see we have a common plight against the ruling elite 1% who run the show, making us workers and them richer. They'll make sure we never unite. White ignorance is a killer. President Dingus says 4 years ago, I love the uneducated. Yeah, of course he does. He's one of them, but still, no, he's a good con man. He's kind of like knowledgeable in being a con man. I'm not sure how else to put that, but yeah, no, he gets it. He gets it. he has a certain sub skill, which is being a swindler, and he sees people who need leadership so badly they'll follow Satan, basically. And I'm not religious. I'm just saying. Okay, let's keep going here. I am not even getting to any of this, but that's okay. I love hearing what everyone says, and I love the telephone calls from people. I appreciate them so much. Let me see. GETV, Nails Glitter, maybe take it easy on him. The one thing to be anti-racist is to be mindful other people are going to learn, understand, but not be combative. Just hear us out, please. Okay. I get that a lot. Here's the thing. And GETV, that I guess that's a good point. And I've been told some of my videos are really nice, like really nice. My 101 series is not rude. But you see, if you're a person, over the age of, I don't know, 11, 12 or whatever, and you're not hiding under a rock, the information's there if you want it. It's a choice to remain ignorant. It's willful ignorance. It's a choice. And I am all for when I work with people one-on-one, oh my God, I meet them where they're at. Okay. And that's a hard thing sometimes because a lot of us are very, very low on the anti-racism, learning curve, which is like straight up practically. But you can't acquiesce to this kind of thing. It's a balance. It's definitely an art, not a science. So you got to kind of but yeah, it's tough. But here we try to keep it really, really. It's probably not a great place for absolute beginners here because we're talking about way too many things that people know about. If you're a white person and you've never ever been around Black folks or brown folks or African American people or indigenous people or people of mixed heritage, all these things, if it's not on your radar, everything we're talking about is like, what? I mean, even the terminology is like, so it's really tough. And so they just might listen and think, God, these people are just mean. But this isn't a great beginner's thing to come to the live show. But I have a beginner series, and I'm very proud of it. Okay, I know that. Let me see here. There's no. Okay, let me just see here. Oh, John Brown. Oh, yes. I have a video on him. I have like an hour-long video on him. I did a special. He's like, wow. He is a true abolitionist in the days when white abolitionists, for the most part, basically, they thought it was cruel the way Black folks were treated, but they didn't think that equality was a great idea. So, I mean, that's, he's amazing. He's very interesting. I cried during the thing. He walked the walk and he died for it. But yeah, John Brown, look up, I have a video on him and it's incredibly interesting. A real white abolitionist. Amazing. He saw when he was a little boy, he saw his friend was this Black kid, and I think he was an enslaved child. Yep, he died defending. Yeah, he believed in our fellow humans, and he wasn't one of those abolitionists who were like, well, we should just send them all back. That's your classic, like, old fashioned. No, he actually believed his friend. He saw his friend get beaten by some slave owner, and when he was a child, and it just, he was from an abolitionist family, but it just killed him. It just killed him, and he dedicated his life. And God, what a brave guy. Oh my God. Anyway, watch the video. It's on there. I think it's called John Brown something. I watched it like 3 times. Okay. I'm just saying a while ago. Okay. All right. I will keep going. And then I'll get to back up. Sorry about that. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I never really thought about that. Let me just, sorry, I'm like, okay, no, I'll tell you where I'm at. Sorry. I'm just catching up first. Oh, wow. I am way behind again. Okay. Sorry, I'm still backing up. Okay. Found it. Nails and glitter. Acknowledgement is the easy part. Change is why people ignore it. All right, well, there's a lot of people who won't acknowledge it even. I mean, everyone's at a different stage. I mean, it's crazy. And yeah, absolutely. Anastasia, no, your friend's comment was the comment of the night. We've been dealing with this BS our entire lives, and y'all will only have it for 4 years of it versus 8 to 900. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, my friend's right. You're talking about my friend who said, get over yourself. Yeah. Yep. And the thing is, yeah, that hurt my feelings. But then I said, guess what? It's not about you. And I thought about it, and he was absolutely right. And it is what it is. He was right. And I learned from it. And that's why I use the story to explain. You can't have an ego with this. You just can't. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to skip a couple people because I know you're having inside conversations that I'm not really able to follow at this time, although I will look later. Okay. Roger, yes, indoctrination. That's why I can no longer teach public school. Yeah, that's. Yep. Oh, I wouldn't be allowed in public school now. There's no way. I'll teach the real history, and I'll teach it. Oh, you know I will. And if I'll do it on public, you know I'll do it, and I'll get fired. So, oh well, new job for me. But yeah, when I used to teach public school, I taught special education, which is a whole nother. I mean, the kids were really disabled, but yeah, no, I'd tell the truth, and I'd be fired because I won't be a part of it. And you know what? That's privilege talking, because some people can't afford to be fired. So there we are. Truly, Jane Elliott is modern day female John Brown. Full stop. Oh, that's really. I never thought about that. It's really, really, really nice. I just trying to learn and via noob. I'm just trying to learn, and that's why I asked the question, because I don't have anyone else to talk to. Sorry if I offended. I'm not sure who you're referring to. You did not offend me in any way, shape, or form. Via noob, not at all. Maybe you're talking to someone else, but you've been absolutely wonderful as far as I can. No offense on my side. I'll have to look back, but no, that's what this is here for. That's what this is here for. And maybe it's okay for people who are a little bit new to it. But see, here's the thing. A lot of folks are all alone. Like, let's say you're all alone. Like, if you're a white person, maybe you're in a really racist family. Like my friend Dixon White said, his family was really, really racist. And he had to figure it out, in college. And he caught on and he figured it out. And he had to unlearn all this stuff. And that's wonderful. Maybe you'll figure it out in middle school or high school. I don't know, but maybe you're in a really, really racist place. And see, it's a lonely place to be. If you're a white person, it's a very lonely place to be, because white people, when they're racist and you're asking questions and you're like, but that doesn't make sense, they will put you down. They will indoctrinate you. So they will shut you up. I can tell you that much. Also, let's speak the real truth now. What if you're a black person or an African American person or an indigenous person or a brown person, and you have a job with all white people surrounding you who are racist as fuck? I mean, that's got to be unbelievably hard to handle. That's got to be devastating. I mean, I can't imagine. Or you live in a town that's, yay Trump, let's all be racist. It's so fun, or whatever. I mean, people are lonely. They want to talk. They want to know that they're not alone. And then with the pandemic, so don't say whatever you want here. We're not going to pounce on you. And if somebody pounces, I'll try to, stop them, because we got to meet people where they're at. It's usually pretty easy to tell an obnoxious person versus someone who really does want to know. Because I've been doing this a while, working with white folks online, and you can usually tell. How you tell is just, to be honest, is you ask questions. Like I kind of do, like, what do you mean by that? Like, I've heard some pretty racist stuff, and then I'll say, what do you mean by that? And they'll explain. I'm like, oh, because when you're new to this, you kind of make a lot of mistakes because you're kind of finding your way. I do. I still do. So it's a lifelong venture. So don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. You did not offend. Janelle is a modern day. Yes, read that. Okay, move on, Kim. John Brown I told you I cried. Okay. Nails and glitter. Is this to me? I'm pretty sure you said earlier, what's wrong with Americans? I say that a lot. I don't know if it was me. There is no high when dealing with murderers. They've been killing us for 500 years. I'm reading your comment. I'm not 100% sure I'm getting it, but okay, I got to catch up. Nails and glitter. I exist because of racism, and the older generation being, yes, men are why racism still exists. Survival is a hell of a motivator, but it's kicking the can down the road. GETV. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. Wait a second. Okay. Let me just see. Truly, I once had one of my conservative bosses who is a closet. Okay, I'm missing the next. Trumpster. Sorry, I forgot that I don't have a return button. Oh, a closet Trumpster. I'm trying to get the rest of this. Oh my gosh, you're gonna hate me till you like. I'm missing the. Okay. I want to know. You are welcome to call in if you wish and tell us that story. It sounds very awful. Mahako, my friend revealed to me his dad is a racist. I lost any respect I had for him. It's. Do you mean your friend or the dad? Because I'm kind of assuming you mean the dad. I would lose respect for the person too. Oh, yay! Somebody took me up on this. Hello there. Can you hear me? Welcome to the show.
Sorry.
You're fine.
I don't know how many characters they allow in this, because I just type.
Totally
what I was
fine.
saying is, one of my bosses, back when, so Don Lemon is all of a sudden woke now. We were mad at him for a while, I can't remember what it was.
Interesting.
You're
funny.
I wouldn't say it was about 3 years ago that he just kind of came out and was like, ugh. And so he made a declaration that white men were terrorists. And so my boss, who is conservative and kind of a Trumper, but he's learning and he's kind of getting better, called me in a panic and said, I don't know how to feel. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm going to call white men Trumpers, terrorists. And I went, y'all are. And he just like silence, like, I don't know.
That's a big, he's not there yet. He's not there.
He's not. And he wants to have conversations. He wants to open it. And I love him for that.
Yeah, because that's advanced. That's really advanced.
He has a way to defend Trump and defend, and I just go, dude, you can't have both ways.
No, you can't. Nope. It wasn't a deal breaker. That's what I tell. I don't know how else to put it. It should have been a deal breaker immediately.
Well, it is.
It is. I don't care what else he talks about, what else he says. Yeah.
he's in the church and all of those things, and so he makes me angry because he doesn't. In the end, it's like, just lower your voice, just talk back. You're a church-going man. Mm-hmm. You believe in family values. Trump has paid for abortions.
Oh,
he cheated on his wife.
Absolutely.
How can you justify following this man? This is against everything that you say you believe in.
So hypocritical.
Well, Daniel, and he has some kind of thing, and I just go, okay.
Yeah,
you know what?
Yeah.
Do you, boo?
It's so hard because when you're working with a white person who is trying to learn, but like, it's almost, this is going to sound crazy, but like we can't digest so much all at once. It's like, we have to be like left to fester in our own racism. We have to be left right. to kind of absorb it and put it into our own, like, it's really hard sometimes. I mean,
well, and here's the thing.
You're very patient.
I have a podcast I listen to, and people trash Obama. And Obama had things people did that people didn't understand. And that kind of makes me feel a certain way. But at the end of the day, you have to listen to things and listen and research for yourself. Yeah. You just have to. You can't recoil because it's Obama. Mm-hmm. I'm not related to Obama. If it was Francis Johnson, my mother, we got a problem. I'm not related to this person.
Right.
He had flaws. People have politicians have flaws.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the thing since the beginning of politics.
You seem reasonable. You seem very reasonable.
The fact that
it's nice.
Yeah, the fact that Trump has managed to just make people go, you know what? I don't care. He's pro-life. He's not.
That's a lie. He's not pro-life, right?
Fine. Yeah. He is not pro-life. There's a whole thing.
Oh my!
Offline. There's a whole thing.
I've seen interviews of him begging he went on Howard Stern begging his girlfriend to abort her child.
God.
It's like,
thank you. No one believes me. I say it all the time. I said, Tiffany almost wasn't here.
That's right. Little Tiffany almost didn't make it. Yep.
He's not pro-life.
He's not pro-life.
And if he's pro-life, why is he telling you that the virus is fine? Don't wear a mask.
Yeah, I mean, how much can he not be pro-life? He's the poster child of not pro-life.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. No, he's full of shit. He's full of it. He is the swindler con man of 2020, and people just.
But he almost won.
I know. That speaks to that's us. That's on us. Because you know what, he would not be here unless there was a market for it. Unbelievable.
I know. And I'm going to say this: his support went up for Black men, 4%, and Black women. 4%.
I don't even. I think there's like a false equivalence of sort, maybe.
Well,
between him and Biden, I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't answer for it either. But I mean, that's not my place really to answer because I don't know what I would do if I was a Black person. Maybe I would do that. I don't think so, but maybe I would. So it's not my place. But it's shocking and upsetting.
I understand. I do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I can't type, but I can talk, kind of.
You're wonderful. You are wonderful. I'm thrilled that you called. Thank you so much.
You know what? I'm so sorry that I have missed these all this time. This is wonderful.
Thank you. God, you have no idea what that means to me. You have no idea. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you very much.
Thank you. You too. Goodness. All right. Well, keep calling. I love it.
I will.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. Making my day, making my night, my year, my month. Thank you so much. No, I'm behind. I gotta get going here. I love the people calling in. It's just I need to hear from you what you think. Who cares what I think? It's like I have a lot of opinions, but I don't live this. I don't. It's not the same. So thank you so much. A clarification, lost respect for the dad. He was arrested as, okay, I'm reading Mahako's thing because he was trying to explain what he was talking about. Okay, so you're talking about the dad. Yeah, I'd lose all respect for that too. That's horrible. It's good that the child is at least understanding that he was raised racist, and so he's got to like work on it. And a lot of young people have really overcome this kind of thing. It's really nice. Tuli, thank you so much. Hey, okay, let me just back up a second here. I am the worst. I get so behind. This is just wonderful. Everyone call in. Just love it. Life journal many times. Not sure. I'm so behind. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. Ugh, I gotta catch up. Okay, life journal. I doubt that. Oh, life journal. I doubt that racism is a conscious decision. Now, taking that, well, here's the thing. Okay, for some people it is. They will tell you, I believe in white supremacy. I believe white people are inherently better, and that's pretty conscious. So maybe explain more what you mean. I used to think people accidentally thought that, but then I kind of learned more and more and more, and kind of came to the understanding that, have you ever talked to a Klan member? They believe the Bible has told them that being racist is the way, and that being Black is a punishment. And I mean, it's a whole, you guys, it's a whole. So yeah, tell me more about what you mean. Maybe you're saying like they don't do it on purpose. Well, some people might not, but sadly, some people do. They'll tell you so too. Like fish not knowing they breathe water. Maybe you mean it's not conscious. That's what's tough about this, is if you could call in, I'd be able to talk, you could tell what you mean. I'm sorry. I don't want to misrepresent anybody. Okay. The eyesight dim. No offense to Michelle Obama, but they go low, we go high is BS. We don't need to play respectability politics unless we actually care about the system. Okay. I know. I mean, just because if you're a Black person, it doesn't mean you have to love Obama. You can love Obama or not love Obama, having nothing to do with how much active melanin he has in his body. Oh, someone's calling. This is exciting. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello. Thanks for calling
Is
in.
that
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good.
It's Anastasia again.
Anastasia! Yay! What's up? Thank you.
Nothing. So I'm reading these comments, right?
Yeah.
And one person talked about GETV, reverse racism. Racism is a system.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as reverse racism, just like there's no such thing as Black on Black crime.
Right. Exactly.
There's such thing as proximity crime. You're going to kill or mistreat who you're around.
Absolutely.
Okay. So then the other person talks about doing it on purpose or not on purpose. Yes, there's subconscious racism and there's, conscious racism, but, or bias or something like that. But these people, we sit here and we love to think that we're educating these people. You think these Trump people, these conservatives don't know what they're doing and why they're supporting him?
They know what they're doing. Absolutely.
Come on. Like, I told you before that, I am in the camp. I'm not educating anybody on anything. And you've told me before that that's not my job. It's not your job. On the victim to teach anybody anything.
It's a gift if you choose to teach.
Even on a certain note, right? Even on certain notes, if you care about something, like you had somebody on there that was asking about Planned Parenthood, and myself and Nails and Glitter was like, listen, do the work. Do the work. Mm-hmm. You have these people that are doctors, lawyers, whatever. When they went to school, they said, I want to be a doctor. What do I need to be a doctor? Why is this anything different? If you care about it, you'll find out about it.
Exactly.
So clearly you don't care that much.
Yeah. And when people ask me, I can't go in depth to their things, but I can give them a little, but to really understand it, you have to do your own research. You have to teach yourself. And so I might go into it a little bit, but I can't go into the in depth. There's too many questions. There's too many, this is very, very big part of history that's missing. I mean, it's huge. It's hundreds and hundreds of years worth of this horrific, most horrific barbaric treatment known to humankind. So yeah, I mean, and
But can I ask you a question?
yes,
Do we not know enough at this point to know the data? You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, I think
Like there's enough data right now
yes.
that you can put together and piece what's going on if you really care.
Let me put.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, let me reword it the way I say it, because I know yes. In this is what I say. I think this is what you mean. Tell me if I'm right. In the high amount of technological communication we have in the world right now, there is no excuse. If you want to find out something, you can. And if you don't, that's willful ignorance. There's no excuse. None.
Exactly.
No, too late. It's not. Yeah. So is that it? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Thank you for making that so eloquent.
Oh, I wish I could do it.
And the thing about it is, like I was telling you, a lot of these things that I learned in the last 4 years. It's because, and I'm 45 years old, so I cared enough about it to go in depth. You know, look at peer reviews, look at, so-called both sides of the story, other books, all kinds of things like that. And then I came up with a synopsis.
And
it doesn't take that much.
You use critical thinking skills and the internet and books and research and and it's like anything else. If you want to know, that information is right there. There's no excuse.
Exactly. And so the thing about this racism thing, Dr. Claude Anderson speaks about racism in the terms is groups of people in competition for wealth and power. Okay? So when you look at racism on that note, everything else comes under it. Because if you think about it, when they came to this country, they didn't come to this country. Let's be clear about the Mayflower and that lie and the settlements and all this foolishness. They came here to make money, and they didn't care how they had to make it. Whether it meant the destruction and genocide of Native Americans, which happened, whether it meant the torture and enslavement of Africans, whether it meant exclusionary acts and laws against Asians and Hispanics and the Irish and the Scottish and everybody else that wasn't considered white until, James Baldwin said that the cost of American citizenship is to hate the Negro. But what I'm trying to say is that what Dr. Claude Anderson is saying is that when all this started, it was because of wealth and power. And if you don't understand that part of white supremacy, you don't understand the world. Exactly.
Economics.
It's economics. Black people, land, Black people as in people, the land that they were on, the American land that was here with the Native Americans, it was a commodity.
Yep.
So the simple fact of the matter is that there is no such thing as reverse racism because we have nothing that's in any kind of equity or power.
You don't hold the power
to do anything like that.
You don't hold the power. Yep.
I can sit on my steps all day and say, I hate angry soccer mom. I want her out of my neighborhood. They're gonna look at me like, okay. Now let's try that again. That which happened down here with Jim Crow. They made laws against that. They put people in jail. They killed people. They did all these types of things.
They set up life as a Black person to be illegal. They set it up so that just normal life is illegal. It's basically an arrestable offense.
Right.
So, yeah.
Exactly. And so the thing about it is when I hear people say reverse racism, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I highly doubt any white person is getting followed around the store.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah. There's no reverse racism. A person who would say that is somebody who is on a very, very, very low understanding level of the actual, and I'm not trying to insult anybody. That is a very, it's a reverse racism is, okay. It's systemic racism is what we're talking about.
Exactly.
There's no, the system is a power-based system, and whites have the power. Okay. So they can't.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not incident.
Right. It's
not individualized incident.
right.
Like
Right.
when I was in Hawaii, I was teaching in Hawaii, right?
Mhm.
And this is a funny story. This woman was a blonde white woman, you know what I'm saying? Pretty white woman.
Mhm.
So we started talking about Black Lives Matter. The first thing, well, I've been discriminated here because they called me a Howie.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, a lot of
And I'm thinking, every time you're looking at somebody and you say, and you look at the studio audience and you say, "Are you for real?"
you're like, my laugh
So
alone does not suffice. I know. I've had that
like,
before.
are
That's a
you
low
serious?
level. Yep.
But Dad, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, not at all. That's what you're describing is, oh, I've been there, done that, heard that. They're trying to make it white centered.
Right, exactly.
They don't
So
understand. It's a system.
is that, exactly. But this is my whole thing is what I tell people is the simple fact of the matter. If you walked up to a fish and said, "How's the water?" the fish would probably look at another fish and be like, what is he talking about?
Water.
What is she talking about? Because they don't even know.
Yes.
They don't even know. And the ones that do know, like you said, will get so defensive. I worked hard for this. I did this and I did that.
That's what they say.
But you didn't, boo-boo. You didn't.
Yeah.
You really didn't. And the fact of the matter is white privilege is not about that you didn't go through anything. It's about the things that you don't have to go through. Like
exactly. It's not okay. When I explain white privilege to people, it's the unearned. It's unearned that you don't have to worry about. Right. You could have problems. You could be poor. You could be this. You could be that. But the shade of tone of your activated or not activated melanin in your body is not something you have to worry about. And that's what people don't get.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean you're not poor. It doesn't mean you won't work hard. It doesn't mean that stuff. But they mess it up because they don't want to face the truth.
Exactly. And then the thing about it is, what it does is makes us, when somebody says something about reverse racism, or they had one incident in their whole entire life, it's like, it just makes us invisible.
Right. It makes you just want
invisible for so long.
Like, you know what people say oftentimes? and I'm not trying to put down Jewish folks because I get what they're saying, but it's not the same. Sorry. I had a relative die in the Holocaust. Okay. But you see, that's not systemic racism the way we have done it in the US for hundreds and hundreds of years and still do it. We still are doing it.
Think about it this way. The Nazis got the blueprint from us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That is data.
People don't even realize that.
From us.
People don't realize that. They learned from us.
They learned from us. And and I'm gonna say this to you. And a lot of people probably don't know that either. During that World War, the black soldiers were made to sit behind German soldiers that just tried to kill them. That's POW. That's number one. Number two, they set up, you probably know this because I know you studied, but they set up German POW camps here in the States. And the German POW Nazis that murdered Jewish people and everybody else,
and black people,
they were treated better and couldn't understand how black people allowed this to go on. Camp Shelby here in Mississippi was a POW camp. They let them have they got allowances. They had baseball games. I mean, if you look into it, it was completely crazy.
Summer camp?
That they treated Nazi soldiers better than they treated Black Americans.
The white supremacy in this country is deep. I always say, take what you think, multiply it by a gazillion, and you're still not going to be there. It's when you learn, it's amazing. It's the depth and cruel depth. It's unbelievable.
Exactly. So that's why I tell you sometimes, like a lot of the stuff that I'm learning and a lot of the stuff that I'm talking to you about, this is why I say I refuse to educate anyone because I did the work.
Right.
I did the work about the Holocaust.
Absolutely.
I did the work about the Exclusionary Act, the Wetback Act, the Chinese Exclusion Act, the Japanese Internment, the Haitian Revolution. And this is the funny thing about all of this stuff. And these people, we were talking about this today. The fact that they gave slave owners reparations for lost property. And you're talking about some reverse racism bullshit?
Yep. People don't even realize that. People don't realize that they got paid for their loss of humans that they pretended weren't human so that they could completely abuse. And I mean, it's unbelievable. The whole thing is, I mean, no wonder they don't tell in school, because people would be like, if people only knew the truth. Our real racial history is fucking barbaric.
Exactly.
It's
exactly like in Haiti. The reason why, and I know this is often a tangent, but the reason why I say these things is because do the work. If you want to know something, you do the work. We're not going to sit here and spoon feed anybody anymore.
Right.
The fact of the matter is that a lot of people don't even know Haiti and the Dominican Republic is on the same island. It's just different sides were colonized, and they treated the people differently. The French treated the African slaves one way, the Spanish treated them another way. But to go back to Haiti, what I was saying about Haiti, the reason why Haiti is poor is because Haiti has been made to pay reparations to France.
Most people don't realize it. Right. Yep.
The United States. Yeah. So, I just, like I said, I didn't mean to call back in. It's just the fact of the matter is that
I'm thrilled that you did. I'm thrilled that you did.
It's just that, I'm not going to sit back and just, there is no such thing as reverse racism from people that don't have power. Now, you can be discriminatory.
Right. You can have rude. Right. I have a video on this.
Dignity.
You can be rude. You can be a jackass. You can be a jerk. You can be, but you can't. Right.
Exactly.
Systemic racism. No.
That's like an undocumented immigrant against me. I mean, literally, what is that undocumented immigrant going to do towards me? Absolutely nothing.
Right. They don't hold the power.
They don't have the power.
Thank you.
To do anything
That's
towards
the
me.
Biggest thing.
I have more power in a sense.
Absolutely. Well, because the American system and you speak the language.
Exactly.
And you I mean, in a sense, but yeah, I mean, right. There's a lot of variables,
but this is my thing.
Yeah.
Right. But if an undocumented immigrant comes over here and takes your job, that's more of a referendum on you. So you need to get your shit together. So, but I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I won't get into that because
there's no such thing as reverse racism, and we're not spoon feeding anybody on here.
Right.
So this whole thing of backtracking a conversation by asking questions about Planned Parenthood. The reason why I wanted to say something about that, not about Planned Parenthood, but the simple fact of the matter is Planned Parenthood acknowledges the situation with Margaret Sanger.
Absolutely.
And the
they're not in
reason
denial
why
of it.
I know that, the reason why I know about that, Angry Soccer Mom, is because I went to the briefing. And they have this whole elaborate briefing that will teach you about Planned Parenthood. They do canvassing.
Absolutely.
They do all these things, just like the other callers.
You can go onto the site.
In low-income neighborhoods. I'm sorry?
You can go onto the site online and learn about it.
Exactly.
You can
Google
learn about
is free.
its history.
Or if you don't have Google, ask Jeeves. Bing it.
Go to the library.
Go AOL. Whatever you need to.
Yeah.
Go to the library. Read a book. Read a book. It's all out there. And so the thing about it is, like I said, what Planned Parenthood and what the other caller was saying was that Planned Parenthood helps low-income people. And the thing about it is some people don't get pap smears or breast cancer checks because they don't have enough money to get that.
Or they can't pay the copay Right. Or their insurance copay is too much.
Exactly.
$50 a pop. Some people can't afford it. So you miss out on that and you get no medical care and you die of curable things. And that
and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is the simple fact of the matter is, it's okay to be quiet. I tell my kids that all the time. It's okay to be quiet. And it's another thing that it's better for people to think you stupid than open your mouth and it's confirmed. Listen, it's out there. The information is out there, and we're in 2020. If you got an iPhone, I got an iPhone in my hand right now. All I got to do is, hey, I want to know about Planned Parenthood. You don't even have to do that. Right. Hey, I want to know about reverse. What they have, the Echo? You ain't even got to type nothing in.
Right.
All you got to do is ask the question.
Yeah, I think
the cloud of answers. So I just wanted to broach that conversation.
I'm happy that you did, because it's really important to understand.
It's too long.
Yeah, if you want, I guess what you're saying. Yeah, if you want to learn, the information's out there. We have amazing information technology these days. It's a choice.
Exactly.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. You're being ignorant on purpose. And there's a difference between being ignorant and being stupid. Stupid people are just, doing their thing, not knowing. When you're ignorant, you have that intelligence. You're just not using it. And you're choosing that ignorance.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't speak stupid and I don't translate it. So when people say certain things, like I said, a lot of times that's why I haven't been typing anything, because I'm like, I'm just not going to engage in any of that foolishness anymore with anybody.
And like already that it is not your responsibility to live and deal with all this and educate the ignorant. It's just not. You own it's not your responsibility. It's a gift. Anything you give is a gift. And that's why I'm fine with any questions, because I am taking responsibility. I want to meet people where they're at. I want to get them. And sure, I can't go off topic too much because, I told you what the show's about. They can always get a hold of me another time. I'll teach anyone willing to learn. But I'm a white person. I don't have to. I can pretend I don't know about racism. I don't have to do this. I don't have to live this. And I can be like a lot of other white people and be like, whatever. This is a choice for me. And I'm choosing to be responsible. You are not responsible for teaching the oppressor. That's ridiculous. So I get it. So this is a kind of a balanced show.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Absolutely.
Though? What's so ironic and weird about it is the fact of the matter is that you being a white person, especially a white woman, you think white people are listening to you. I can tell you right now, because you're saying it, black people, there's a certain set of black people, Hispanic people, other melanated people that will listen to you about black people and racism and all this other foolishness than they would listen to us.
And that kills me.
So that's the crazy thing about it.
That's how bad it is.
And Tim, exactly. The stuff that Jane Elliott and Tim Wise and all these other white folks are saying, black people have been saying forever. But the fact of the matter
when we
is
say it,
black.
right.
Right.
When we say it, people listen. So, and that makes me sick. And I would be just enraged. I can tell you right now, it enrages me as a white person. And a lot of times, my first probably 50 shows, I said, I used to actually say that. It makes me disgusted that I can come on here. I don't live this stuff. I can pretend I don't even know what we're talking about. And people will listen to me over people who live it. It's like, what? That's insanity. That's how deep it is. That's how deep this stuff is. That's how deep it is.
Think about it this way. The proof is in the pudding, right? Portland is a majority white city. Okay? When Portland set it off, what happened? They started listening because the majority of the people that was out there, regardless, again, I'm a board member of Black Lives Matter Mississippi. The reason why they listened out there and was doing what they did, because the majority of those people were white people out there. Black people been marching and begging and cajoling these people for
Centuries.
how long?
Forever.
But when they
Forever.
seen exactly, but when they seen those young white children,
Oh,
remember in DC?
oh yes,
those
being
moms,
gassed and
remember
being
those
shot
moms?
at and being yes.
Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Majority of those women were white. But there was just a black woman with her toddler in the car that was beat up and surrounded by the cops.
Mm-hmm. Yanked out, terrified, traumatized.
Right.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Right. And the one little kid that got pepper sprayed. But the thing about it is, it was a little girl, and the mother and her were just walking and just kind of fell into whatever. But the point of what I'm saying is that, you know, a lot of times we sit here and we want to play these mental gymnastics with people. And the fact of the matter is we have to come to a point where we're not playing games with these people anymore. You know, we're not doing this anymore with you. So if you said about building a wall, I want them to build the wall. They could take West Virginia, Mississippi.
My family was talking about that recently.
Hey, get Louisiana, half of Louisiana, get them all over there. And guess what? Take their melanated pets with them, and y'all go right on behind that wall, because the rest of us are not doing it anymore. And that's the sad thing about it, is that we have melanated people that are in blackface. We have melanated people that are collaborating. And we can't have that at this point in time. Not if we want progress.
It's just so
and
hard.
I know you can't say that.
Right. Thank you. It's so hard because that's not my place. It's
Exactly. You know, and the thing about it, I'm looking at Nails and Glitter, and the thing about, like I said, what they're saying about, they gaslight us all the time. I've had white friends gaslight me about something that I knew was racist.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Oh, it's not about racism. It's about class. Oh, everybody is shitty people on both sides. You know, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, no. You're done.
We're not doing it.
You're done. You're overbaked. It's
we're
over.
Not doing it anymore.
And you shouldn't have to.
The last thing I will say is this. You know I made a comment about the melanated pets. The reason why I made that comment about saying that is because we have a lot of melanated people that are helping this foolishness until they get their Negro wake-up call. What's the one that just died of COVID? What's his name? The black guy that Herman Cain. He had to have a Negro wake-up call of death is a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
that was
fact
really
that
sad.
It was this pastor. It was this black pastor that caught COVID. And his Negro wake-up call was, he's dead now.
That's a pretty harsh. That's pretty harsh. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And a lot of these people are gonna get we had it with the things that was going on at the border. I was watching this one guy, he voted for Trump and was all for deportation
until his wife or his
he got deported.
Yep. It's
Remember
incredible.
that?
Yeah. It's insane. It's
So Tiger Woods, he got his Negro. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not black. What's his name? O.J. Simpson. I'm not black or white. I'm just O.J. Until you went to jail, until you was on trial. And the reason why I say these things is because I know you're going to have a show on it, and I know you can't say the things that I'm saying. And I get that. But what I'm telling you, along with not just being not racist, you have to be anti-racism.
Yes.
But these other people, these other groups, including black people that's assisting, they have to come to a point of reckoning to show you that this right here, once they get the rest of us out of the way, what do you think they're going to do to you?
Exactly. That's what I never get that. It's like, you really think your group's not going to be next? You really think that?
Right. Exactly.
Great points.
So I just, like I said, no, it's not Ben Carson. It's Herman Cain. But Ben Carson.
Yeah, well, yeah, they set it up above
I'm telling
Herman
you,
Cain. Yeah.
Ben Carson is going to get his Negro wake up call, just like Michael Steele did. I don't know if you know who Michael Steele is.
No, I don't.
Do you know who he is?
Mm-mm.
Michael Steele was the president of the RNC, right?
Oh, okay.
He was the president of the RNC, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had to get permission from somebody that was lower in rank in him in NRC to make decisions. When they had the RNC conference or whatever they did with Trump, he wasn't even invited.
Were they just using him, basically?
Yeah, they was just using him.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's gonna have to come a reckoning, with Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, Harriet Tubman, all of these people. The first people that they dealt with was the collaborators. And so that's the whole thing that we're gonna have to deal with now is these, people that are, I want to be racist, it's in style, I'm just gonna do this, and the collaborate. So the conversation is gonna have to come to that at some point in time. What do we do with these collaborators? But that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much. You have made incredible points. You're reasonable, and I'm thrilled, just thrilled to have you call in. You made my night.
No problem.
Thank you. Seriously.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon. Wow, wonderful. I know she was somebody else was trying to call in. They might still be trying, but this is exactly what I want. I want to know what you think. Thank you so much. And there's no monolith in any group, I promise. No one group is all together. But if you're really, really caring about your fellow humans, it's going to be all of them. And I promise, what happens to someone else's group, you have to be a fool to not think yours is next. I always mention Martin Niemöller. He was a religious man in Germany, and he was an educated man, and he absolutely felt horrible about not doing more as he watched Nazis take over. And he actually ended up going to jail. Hitler hated him in a special jail. He lived through it, and he would talk to his class. He was a professor, and he was the one that wrote, first they came for the Unionists. I wasn't a Unionist, so I did nothing. Next, they came for the next group. I wasn't in that group, so I did nothing. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to help. And I learned that when I was a little kid, and it stuck with me. And just, it's so important. Don't be arrogant enough to think that if you're seeing an injustice with one group, that your group isn't next, because it is. Like many people have said, an injustice to one group is an injustice to all of them. And I truly believe that. Absolutely. I did not get to everybody, and I apologize. I cannot thank everybody enough for your incredible, incredible conversation tonight. I didn't even get to the stuff I had prepared, and I'm actually thrilled because I want to know what you think. Okay. What I think, whatever. I mean, sure, maybe I can teach some white folks a little bit, but the best teacher, it is a gift, is to hear from people who live it. Because I don't live it. I don't know better than the people who live this day in and day out. If I could give one, oh God, I would never just give one bit of advice to white folks who want to learn. This is just like 1 out of 1,000, because I talk, is listen to people who live it. Listen to them. Hear their words. And you will be 99.9% ahead of most people. So I'm going to say good night because I have to get up at 5:50 in the morning. But you guys were amazing tonight. I can't wait till next Wednesday. So thank you so much. Please come back. The speakers who called in were incredible. And I am absolutely thankful and thrilled. Yep, listen to us instead of combating us. You said it. That's right. Because these are our teachers, and it is a gift. When a person tells me about their experience, it is a gift. They don't have to do that. They don't have to use their emotional energy to teach us. They don't know us anything. It is a gift. So please keep that in mind. And thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, Tilly, you are wonderful. And I seriously can't thank you enough. I don't know what to say. Thank you so, so much. And if you feel like I do, that it is way past time, way past time to get white America and people in numerical majority groups need to learn about our real history, and then keep getting educated and teach other people. Okay. Then please consider subscribing. Some of my videos are really in your face, but I have a 101 series. It's not really in your face. It's just teacher educational. Don't be a stranger. I want to know what you think. Leave comments and I will get back to you. Have a great night and be safe, everybody. The stuff I was going to talk about tonight was the transition. It's getting ugly, and you don't need me to tell you that. It's getting. Thanks, Nelson. Thank you so much for everybody. This is wonderful, just wonderful. I'm going to bed thrilled. So, good night, everybody. Thank you. I'm going to recap all this and learn a lot. Read through the whole thing. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. Mwah. Be safe. It's getting ugly. See you next time. And my way it can be reached is right on there. Well, just scroll up a bit, but it's on there. So if you want to reach me privately, please PM me. I would love it. All right. Good night. And thank you again to all the callers. Thank you. Absolutely amazing. Thanks. Okay. Good night, everybody.